Welcome to SHP Case Studies. Today, we have a client that's been with us for about a year, and they are a tech company reaching out to the education industry. I love this client. I love this client because they started small. It's a classic story that we love to tell about how cold call appointment setting can work slowly, and then it can blow up and be a great channel to develop a sales pipeline of leads and appointments. Here's the situation. We have a client that has a digital escape room adventure uh, programmed through a phone and augmented reality that is set at a school's location for orientation training and games. It's great. And the story, really quick teaser before we get really deep into it, is that they started with a very small 500 call activity campaign with us. And then now, as of today, a year later, it's 10,000 calls a month. It really started off strong. There was actually a dip in performance, and then we've slowly been bringing that back. And we'll dive into all of that stuff here in this case study. So let's go into the details. For this particular software client, we reach out to all sorts of school districts, schools in general. So colleges, high schools, other types of academies. We're actually calling into Canada. So these are some different markets that we're calling into, all within education. We have, on average, a 2.46% appointment setting rate. That is much above our standard and actually about double of our average of about 1.25. So this means that out of every 100 calls on average, we're getting an appointment every 40 calls. So every 40 raw calls, we're getting an appointment on this campaign for the last year. And the lead setting rate is a 5%. So one in every 20 calls, we're getting some type of nurture, warm, and appointment. So for those of you who don't know how our lead metrics, lead dispositions work, a nurture is a play-by-play that we have received permission to send email to a prospect. A warm lead is one where we've received permission to follow up call, just not at a specific date and time. And then appointment is a meeting to talk about the use of the product or service with that company. So 3 specific play-by-plays that we have here in our lead generation. So let's look at some of the offering. So again, this is a really unique client, and I want to first start off by saying with this type of client, it's always better if you have a unique solution. Now, you can have a commodity type service and have a lot of success with cold calling. You can also have an industry that is in need. Okay, so maybe like COVID-19, there was, we have a lot of mask campaigns and nitrile glove campaigns, which were successful. But there's also this category that seems to really be blowing up for us, and we can't pinpoint an industry. So what we've been calling it is unique solutions. And typically that means it's a unique, rare, or innovative product to the marketplace. And that's what this client provides. It's something that is new. It really piques the interest of the folks that we're calling because they've never really heard about it. And I love that because it really does help the cold call because of how strong of a product it is. So this client offers a outdoor digital escape adventure completely custom to that school's geographic location that's played through an app on the phone with students. So when they first get to the campus and they're doing orientation, they can play games and solve puzzles all around campus to get to know the location and to get to build relationships with the people around them. So I think that's really awesome. And that really did lend us a lot of conversations and a lot of success so far. So the idea is to call the activity directors, the person in charge of orientation, to talk with them about this and set up a time to give a demo of the app and show what the game is capable of. So let's jump into the script just quickly because the scripts are always something that have an impact. We talk about the 4 pillars of cold call success. We have market, we have product relevance. So what parts of the product are we going to speak about to that specific market? So it does impact the market and the messaging strength, how well it's written, how well it's tweaked to that market, and then the SDR fit, how well the SDR fits to that persona type, how well they're able to adapt, how well they're able to deliver and set meetings for the sales pipeline. So looking at the script, we have the consultative conversation format. This is one of our 3 main H2H cold calling method script formats. And it's the one that we default to the most because it's usually for those who are behind a desk, right? So we have kind of an opening statement, question is the general format. And so when you see the script in our Beacon PDF, you're going to be able to really look at how the conversation ebbs and flows. So it starts off, hey, we build custom outdoor digital escape adventures for schools rather than generic icebreakers, tours, scavenger hunts. Students can download the app and they can play a team-based escape venture at their location. Go right into the hone in. Do you have fun and interactive events that take little time to plan for your students? Boom, I love that. You have a quick description of what you do, a value statement, and then a hone in question that draws out a comment that regardless of how they respond, we can still move the conversation forward. Notice we didn't say, are you happy with your current interactive activities for orientation? Or are you looking for more solutions for orientation? No one's ever looking. Everyone's always happy. So we don't ask that type of question. We ask one that will open up the conversation. We call that a balanced question because what it does is it doesn't open up so much that we lose control of the dialogue. But what it does is it opens up the conversation. So whether they say yes or no to our question, that we can move it towards further down the script in our logic tree. So we do offer some value there after whatever they say, whether they've already used something or whether they haven't. And then we move into how this can complement what they're doing, or this is something new that they could bring to their students. And then we ask them for a Google Meet demo with our CEO and set that up. So let's transition into the results. So that script format worked really well because we're calling these activity directors that are at school districts behind a desk. They have time to have a conversation, and that really did impact our conversions. So if you see in the results here, we had a DM connect rate of 8.93%, right? So that's about 1 in every 11 raw calls. We got a decision maker on the phone. And then what was so great about this, and you can tell it's really high product relevance, a really good product market fit, because if you see the ASR on DM convos, that's appointment setting rate on decision maker connects, was 26%. So 1 every 4 of those conversations with activity directors turned into appointment. That's outstanding, giving us overall a 2.46 appointment setting rate and overall lead setting rate. So including those folks who weren't quite ready for an appointment but did show some interest, of 5%. So really, really outstanding results, a current client of ours. And let's look at some of the graph. What I'd like to do is walk through the one that says conversation and appointment setting rates per campaign. It's got a gray DM connect rate bar as well as an appointment setting rate line that's purple. So what's really interesting about this one is that we actually had a dip. It started off with a hot market when we did our trial, and it was one that they really knew could be successful. So we knocked it out of the park, right? Now we saw a dip though, and I think the answer to that is when we a lot of times work with our clients, they have a hot market they want us to call, like, ooh, we need this called. We call it and it's like, okay, now that that's done, now who do we call? And it's a little bit daunting, but that's part of the cold call success, is that we're always trying to find and tweak and turn and refine on a continuum. And that's the way that cold calling is successful, right? So with cold calling, we're trying to continually build a fire. We're trying to, make this fire bigger and bigger rather than just, hey, we've developed a cold call strategy. It's done. Now we set it and forget it. It's not a house that needs to be built. It's a fire that needs to keep burning. And this is a great example of that, because we had a good fire. We put some gasoline on early, but then it started to dwindle, and we had to do the work to put kindling back in, to put fire back in order to get it back up to a higher rate. So if you see, as the campaigns went on after campaign 3, every single month went back up. 7.17, 1.17, 1.21, 1.64, and a 2.4. So we're at pretty consistently a 2% appointment setting rate. Overall, a 2.64. I love that. This is a great campaign and has been consistent with us. Again, going from 500 calls the first month to now 10,000. So it's a pretty fantastic opportunity for us, but also for the client. We're generating lots of appointments for them. So if you have any questions about this campaign, this industry, or others, please reach out and we're happy to share with you how Superhuman Prospect can generate cold call appointments and leads for your business.
Are you a company that wants to grow their sales pipeline but don't know how to do it outside of cold email, inbound, and normal channels? Consider SHP. We provide cold call appointment setting and sales development services to generate leads and appointments outbound for your sales pipeline so you can have control over your sales destiny. Give us a call at the number provided or reach out to us in any way. And we're happy to chat with you about how we can cold call and generate leads so that you don't have to. Be excited to do the work for you and can't wait to hear from you.